Hey drivers, back with another one. So this week I heard the sad news that EA has yet again ended a franchise that I care about so much. Yes, they cancelled all development on the Project Cars series. For me, this hits home very hard. First, they took out Maxis, the creators of my beloved SimCity franchise, but now they've taken out the one game that truly helped me make the jump into the sim racing world. As I mentioned in my video 4 Levels of Racing Game Fever, I used to be in deep with the Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport series games. These games are readily accessible to me as I played only on console at the time. Then enters the crowdfunded ambitious game Project Cars, Community Assisted Racing Simulator. I remember when I first heard about it, I was blown away by the level of detail in the series that they planned to take on. It was different from the car collecting series of games that I had been so accustomed to. It aimed to truly be a racing sim. For example, their career mode started off the player and karting series and allowed you to work your way up through the branches of racing to decide which type of racing specialist you would become. F1 or Formula A, LMP or GT. This was really a neat feature. At this point, as a console gamer, I have never seen anything quite like it. There was a huge variety of motorsport disciplines, to amazing variety of tracks, and yes, a weather system that truly impacted the way the vehicles handled on the track. The biggest feature of all is for the PC version, it supported VR. I remember driving a GT car around Mount Panorama in Australia and coming down the mountain and seeing the sunset go down. It was truly breathtaking. I had never seen anything quite like this in a video game before, and even now it still hits just the same. Seriously, just talking about the game gets me all excited for it yet again. Ian Bell, the founder of Slightly Mad Studios, the developer of the game, had escaped the clutches of EA before, working with an incredible staff to develop the Need for Speed franchise, or Need for Speed Shift franchise, shall I say. They were now free to develop a racing title to the amount of depth that they wished. As the team released titles such as Project Cars 1 and then following Project Cars 2, they were met with a mixed bag of responses. Some praised the ambitious efforts that the team took on. However, some sim racers criticized heavily on the physics of the game, some even calling it Simcade. This was something that they were never really able to shake. The criticism had some merit, as some cars in the game just did not handle at all like the real-world counterparts, while others were very accurate and actually really solid. The way curves affected vehicles as well was a deal breaker for many, as the curbs would often suck the driver into the grass in a strange black hole fashion. The curbs, of course, was often where the racing line was, and it really affected people's way of driving. People, of course, blamed the Madness engine that was developed at the core of the video game. They said that it was fundamentally broken. Later, the Ryza team would actually prove this to be false. Automobilista 2 is built on the same Madness engine, although it is tweaked quite a bit and developed a lot further, but really it showed what Slightly Mad Studios could have done with the engine. Not only did Ryza actually eliminate many of those issues that people were complaining about, but they have continued to build on that foundation and create a really great racing sim title. But back to Project Cars. The team eventually was acquired by Codemasters, another company that many of us drivers loved. This, however, didn't go well in the long run, as Codemasters was eventually acquired by, yes, you guessed it, EA. During all this, the team grew frustrated by the harsh criticism of the player base, and EA as always wanted the third game to appeal to as many people as possible. So instead of pushing through to further develop the engine and bring us a successor that had all the simulator things we loved about Project Cars 2, but with better physics, we got a watered down clone of Forza and Gran Turismo, called Project Cars 3. This game spelled death for the once community-assisted racing simulator, as they abandoned the community part entirely, removing features that were fundamental to what the racing community defined as basic core aspects of sim racing. Pit stops were gone, physics were simplified, motion blur was plastered all over the game. Also, an arcade-like point system was added that seemed a whole lot like the Forza Horizon series. Graphics were distilled down to what some called mobile phone-like graphics. This, as we all know, didn't go well. The game way underperformed. In fact, Project Cars 2 still had a larger active player base on Steam than its new game a year after release. So that leads us to where the franchise has ended up today. The truly groundbreaking, ambitious title that bridged the gap between console and PC, the game that brought many people into the sim racing genre of games, is now gone. I am grateful that we at least have Ryza, who developed a game that really does feel like what Project Cars 3 should have been. As for Project Cars 2, it's too late to buy a copy from Steam, so give Automobilista 2 a try. You won't be disappointed. I have many videos on this channel featuring Automobilista 2, from reviews to challenges and a VR settings guide. So yeah, it's really hard to see this game franchise go, but I'm really grateful that Slightly Mad Studios was even around to make such a game, and I still have it so I can go back and play it at any time. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I always appreciate the support, and as always guys, drive safe.